Hello, it is Jack Gill and welcome back to Mundo Sporto. Big game today. Manchester City, who can win the title with a win today. They face Chelsea. Of course, this will be the Champions League final later on this month. So, it's a bit of a warm-up match for that. And I'll go through the team news in a moment. But first of all, a reminder to check out our sponsors for today, OneFootball. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is the only football app you need to follow thousands of teams, hundreds of leagues and competitions worldwide. It is packed with all the latest news, videos, fixtures, scores, stats, and key dates, and it personalizes the content that you want. It allows you to put your favorite team in, your favorite leagues, the fixtures you want to follow. It is an incredible app that I use, all my friends use, my family use it, everyone I know uses OneFootball. And if you're not using it yet, you need to go and download it. Well, there you go. Go and check out the OneFootball app. As I say there, I know so many people who have it. I use it for the lineup news, for scores and stuff like that. So make sure you go and check that out. Download it now. There should be a link in the description. Click on that and download the OneFootball app. I promise you it will not let you down. Anyway, before I get into your comments and score predictions ahead of the game, let me just let you know a few stats ahead of the game and, of course, the lineups. And by the way, both lineups are pretty bizarre. We'll start with the Manchester City one. They're at home today, of course. And here is how we have them lined up. Connor's put them in a 3-3-1 system with Laporte, Diaz and Ake as a back three. Then Mendy, Rodri and Cancelo. Sterling, Aguero and Torres, and then Gabriel Jesus. For Chelsea, they go with Mendy in goal, Rudiger, Christensen, Azpilicueta, Kante, Alonso, Billy Gilmore, Ziyech, James, and then Werner and Pulisic. So both sides making quite a few changes from their lineups in midweek in their Champions League games against PSG and, of course, Real Madrid alike. Interesting. Both teams very interesting. A start for young Billy Gilmore for Chelsea. And we're seeing for City, they really have changed their team, haven't they? Aguero comes into the starting lineup. You got Nathan Ake, too, who hasn't had too many starts in recent months. They're still without John Stones, who's suspended, of course. So they are the two lineups for today. And let's tell you... There's an ad there. Let's tell you about some of the stats ahead of this game. Obviously, Chelsea are still unbeaten away from home under Thomas Tuchel. City could win the title today with a win, but can Chelsea remain unbeaten under their new manager away from home? None of the last 11 Premier League meetings between Manchester City and Chelsea have finished level. The Citizens have won 7. Chelsea have won 4. Man City have only won 7 of their first 36 Premier League meetings with Chelsea. Chelsea have lost their last 3 away league games against Manchester City by an aggregate score of 9-1. Their last win at the Etihad was in December 2016 under Antonio Conte, and that was a 3-1 win. A victory for Manchester City would see them win the Premier League title for the 5th time. Only Manchester United have won the trophy more since, obviously, the league was founded in 1992. Manchester City have lost only 1 of the last 24 home Premier League games against London sides, winning 20 and drawing 3. Man City have kept 18 clean sheets in 34 Premier League games this season, 1 more than they've registered across the entire 2019-20 campaign, and their highest total in a single season in the competition is 20, which they got in 2018-19. Chelsea have kept a clean sheet in 11 of their 15 Premier League games under Thomas Tuchel, the most shutouts recorded by any manager in the first 15 games in the competition's history. Chelsea are looking to win 3 league games in a row without conceding for the first time. For the first time since November 2017, having failed to win any of his first 5 meetings with Pep Guardiola in all competitions. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel won the last meeting between the two managers in the FA Cup semi-final last month. So there you go. Some stats for you ahead of this big game, probably the game of the weekend. And my score prediction before I get into your comments. My score prediction is I think it's going to be 1-1. I said this in the Mundo Sporto prediction earlier on in the week. Sorry, in the Mundo Sporto pod earlier on in the week. For me, I think that it will be 1-1 today. I think Chelsea will take the lead, and I think City will claw it back, and the game will finish level. Samira Katabi says 5-3 to Chelsea. That is Samira's prediction. Let's have a look. Any others? Tyler Brown says, "Hiya, Jack. How are you?" I'm good, thank you, mate. Hopefully you're good too. I'm hoping for a good game of football today. You know, I often do the Manchester City games here on Mundo Sporto, and you know, they can often be quite boring to watch, Manchester City, can't they? But they've made a whole host of changes today. There's a lot of players now who will be fighting for a place in that Champions League final team. So let's hope that we have a good game, in store. But as I say, both teams very, very good defensively. Chelsea resurgent under Thomas Tuchel. They've really sorted out their defence, haven't they? They look solid defensively now. City kept a lot of clean sheets all season, and that's what impressed me. For me, against PSG, you know, the unit at the back. That I thought defensively they looked outstanding, especially in the second leg. I thought Ruben Diaz has been a terrific signing for them. And you know, Cancelo has been outstanding for them too. So yeah, it should be an interesting game, but I don't think there'll be too many goals. That's my prediction. Ahmed Ali says 2-0 or 1-0 to Chelsea. A lot of people predicting a Chelsea win today, which is interesting. Tyler Brown says, "I see you've been lumbered with a City game again." Yep, I always tend to get them, don't I? But, you know, this is definitely game of the weekend on paper, isn't it? City versus Chelsea. A big game. It really is. So, you know, let's hope for a good game between the two of them. And as I say, it's a warm-up for the Champions League final. Both managers clearly not wanting to give much away, and you can see that by the team lineups today. Remember as well to like, comment, everything you possibly can. Share this on social media. Just get the link from the video and pull it on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. Let's get as many people in the stream as possible. I always say that these streams and these watch-alongs are made better by you lot in the comments with your questions and everything. So let's have a conversation. If the game's not great, we'll have a conversation. So share on social media, do everything you can, and we'll have a good laugh, whether the game's good or not. But nonetheless, there's a lot to talk about today. Obviously, it was the final day in the Championship. We saw Derby survive, Sheffield Wednesday and Rotherham get relegated after Rotherham drew 1-1 with Cardiff, and Sheffield Wednesday and Derby drew 3-3. Other news in the Championship, of course, Norwich lifted the Championship trophy, but we knew that already. Watford had been promoted. And, you know, let me have a look at the playoff places. I think Barnsley are in the playoffs. Brentford, Bournemouth and Barnsley and somebody else finished in the Championship playoffs. So there you go. So yeah, the last day in the Championship today. I know League One and League Two, I think it's their last day tomorrow. So we're getting close to the end of the season now. It's not long before the Premier League season will come to an end too. And one thing it looks like now is that, you know, Manchester City is certainly going to be Premier League champions. They just one win away. And if they win today, they will be crowned Premier League champions. Little Big Man with his comment here saying Leicester City lost, Tottenham lost, and Chelsea play Man City. The door is wide open for Liverpool for top four and Champions League qualification. Well, I think if we're going to get top four, we need to win every game between now and the end of the season, 100%. But you're quite right, mate. Results have gone our way this weekend. Obviously, we've got Southampton after this game later tonight. So, fingers crossed, it's still doable. And we can pick up the 3 points and capitalise on results that have gone our way elsewhere. Let me know if any of you have got any bets on as well today. I am just about to put one on. I'm thinking under 2.5 goals. I'm thinking a Rodri booking, should I do a Rodri booking? Oh, it's tough, isn't it? Give me some betting tips in the comments if you can. Inglesey 001 says, "Who do you want to win the Champions League final?" I think it's it's like picking which it's like picking a bloke to shag your missus, isn't it? Like it's an impossible decision. I don't want to watch the Champions League final. But I think I'd rather Chelsea win than Manchester City, but I hate both teams. So at the end of the day, I'd rather I wish we weren't in the situation that we're in. But for me, the only thing we have over Manchester City is the fact that they've never won a European trophy. So, I'm not ready to see them win the Champions League. And to be honest, I think Chelsea will do it. I honestly do. I've got a feeling that Chelsea will win the Champions League. I think City are more likely to win today. As I say, I'm predicting a draw, but I think it's more likely to be a City win today. I think Chelsea will just edge the Champions League final, like we saw them, of course, beat Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final. I know it was a weakened City side that day, but I still have a feeling that Chelsea might do it. Dylan Popel says that he thinks Chelsea will win 2-1 today. Tyler Brown says, "I'm saying 2-1 to City. It's going to be close, though. They want to prove themselves for the Champions League final." Both teams do, mate. And it's a big day for City. As I say, they could win the title today. Don't forget. So, it's going to be a very close game, as I can see the Chelsea players walking out the tunnel now. The referee, of course, today is Anthony Taylor, who is from Manchester, from Altrincham. I can see Timo Werner on my screen, of course, scoring for Chelsea against Real Madrid in midweek. The other goal scorer, Mason Mount, I believe, isn't in the squad today for Chelsea. I will find that out for you as soon as I can. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's not in the squad, is he? Let me have a look. So Kepa, Emerson, Livramento, Zuma, Jorginho, Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, Abraham, and Giroud as the Chelsea bench. So no Mason Mount. So a big loss for Chelsea today, without obviously someone who has been a key man for them this season, and for me, their player of the season. So let me read out the teams for you again. So for Manchester City, I have no idea how they're going to line up today, to be honest with you, but let me read out who's playing for them. In goal, of course, Ederson. Then Sky has it down as a back three. I expect it to be a back three. Ruben Diaz, Emerick Laporte, and Nathan Ake. Then Sky has it as a four in midfield with Ferran Torres, Rodri, João Cancelo, and Benjamin Mendy. So they've got it down as Ferran Torres playing as a wing back. Gabriel Jesus, Sergio Aguero, and Raheem Sterling is the front three. So yeah, a 3-4-3 as Sky are predicting. Connor on the graphic has put it down as a 3-3-3-1. And it's Pep Guardiola, so it could be absolutely anything, couldn't it? He's clearly not trying to give too much away to Chelsea, and I think he's keeping his cards close to his chest ahead of the Champions League final. And for Chelsea, in goal is Mendy. The back three of let me get the graphic up for you. The back three of Rudiger, Christensen, Azpilicueta, Kante, who was phenomenal in midweek against Real Madrid. Alonso and Reece James are the wing backs. Gilmour and Ziyech join Kante in midfield, and Werner and Pulisic are up front for Chelsea. So that is the lineups for today's game. Not long till kickoff now. What do you think about the game? Let me know what is going on. And Connor Crosby pointing out there that the lineup images are from the OneFootball app, the sponsors of this video. That is how OneFootball has them lined up. So, yep, go over to the OneFootball app and check them out for yourselves. But thank you, Connor, for providing me with that banner. And if I can take it off now, there we go. I should hopefully remember to do the clock today. But yeah, I'm sorry about that thing at the bottom. I have no idea what that is, but I can't really get rid of it. So yeah, but if I forget the clock at any point, remind me, because I tend to do it probably once a video. So let me know. And let's have a look in the comments. What are you lot thinking about the game? Dylan Popel says Ake is underrated. Yeah, he's not played too much football for City this season, has he? He signed for a decent fee in the summer. And he started the season playing a lot more than he has in recent weeks, that's for sure. So, he gets a start today, and maybe he'll get more football now that the league looks wrapped up for Manchester City. And I'm sure we'll see them constantly rotating over the next few weeks. They've got that Champions League final in their sights, haven't they? But yep, Manchester City versus Chelsea will be starting soon. Remember, I use Sky Go, so I will be slightly behind. Try not to ruin any of anything that's happened in the game for anyone in the comments that may not be able to access the game and will just be watching through me. But I am usually about 30 seconds behind, so please be patient and bear with me on that one. But I can see them now. I don't know what they're waiting for. Everyone's out on the pitch. Anthony Taylor just delaying proceedings right now. And the whistle is blown as they take the knee. And we are underway here between Manchester City and Chelsea at the Etihad. This game will be played later on in the season as well as the Champions League final. But how will they get on today in the Premier League? Manchester City could go on and win the Premier League title today. It's inevitable that they are going to go and win the Premier League this season. But can they do it today? Can they do it at the Etihad as they face Chelsea? Both teams, as I say, Champions League finalists this season. City looking for their first Champions League trophy. And that is what their sights will be on right now. They're after that treble, aren't they? And the Premier League could be announced as Manchester City's today in what has been a massive, massive week for the club. Let me just turn my light on so the light's a bit better. So City have a throw on the left-hand side. Benjamin Mendy, who might actually be in his last season at Manchester City. He, of course, hasn't really settled in too well, has he? I know he's had his injury problems here and there, Benjamin Mendy, but Zinchenko, I thought, was outstanding in the Champions League the other night for Manchester City. I thought it was a really, really good performance from him. A man who is still very young, who is by trade an attacking midfielder, but he's been converted by Pep Guardiola into a left back, and he's certainly stronger than Benjamin Mendy. But it's Mendy who gets a start for Manchester City today, and it's Mendy who has fouled. I think that was Christian Pulisic. Yep, Christian Pulisic, and we're seeing two coaches on the sideline, two Champions League finalist coaches on the sidelines today. Thomas Tuchel, who has come in and done a really, really good job since joining Chelsea. And Pep Guardiola, who has guided Manchester City to their first ever Champions League final. As City play from the back and Raheem Sterling comes deep to collect the ball. A good dribble now from Raheem Sterling, and then he takes a big, big touch long and loses the ball. And now Chelsea are on it with Benjamin Mendy. Kante turns, and Kante, what a performance from him the other night against Real Madrid. He was outstanding, wasn't he? I thought Real Madrid were very, very poor. I thought they were awful, to be honest with you. But what a performance from N'Golo Kante. What a player. A player I am really, really fond of. Let's have a look. Tom Crawford says Man City have won the Premier League anyway. They have. Of course they have. As I say, it's inevitable that they will lift the Premier League this season. But will they do it today? Will they be confirmed as Premier League champions today? Let me know what you think. Let me know your score predictions as the game goes on. And there's young Billy Gilmore with his first touch of the game and his first few touches. End up with him putting the ball out of play for a Manchester City throw-in just inside their own half, which will be taken by Benjamin Mendy. The game started quite slow. There's not too much pace in the game. I expected it to be like this. Both teams making quite a few changes from their Champions League games the other night. City with a whole host of changes and changing the system. And that's poor from Christensen. And now City are through. It's Ferran Torres, who of course scored last weekend against Palace. Ferran Torres. He just latched at it. And it goes a long way wide in the end. But that was a chance for Manchester City as Christensen made a mistake and got caught out for it and should have been punished more so by Ferran Torres. But I think Rudiger in the end just did enough to put off the young Spaniard signed for Manchester City in the summer. Yeah, really good defending that from Rudiger after Christensen's mistake. City have the ball back now. Gabriel Jesus, really good from him. But then he loses it to Azpilicueta and Chelsea will go again and go to Kante. Excuse me. Tyler Brown says, it is going to be an exciting City game. Surely not. We'll see. There's not too many exciting Manchester City games, are there? But we'll see whether this is an exciting game or not today. As City play the ball around with Nathan Ake now to Aymeric Laporte. Remember, John Stones still suspended after his red card that he picked up against Aston Villa a few weeks back. Proud to be a Geordie. Thinks City will win today, but Chelsea will win the final. Zach Moritz has joined us. Addison says, hi Jack, how are you, mate? I'm good, thank you. I hope you're okay and I hope you enjoy the game. As I say, there's not too many people in the chat today. The chat's quite quiet. So if you can share this on social media, guys, share the link. Get as many people as possible as you can here. Like, obviously, comment, subscribe. Let's try and get this to come up in more people's YouTube recommended. As Ruben Diaz, who was excellent once again the other night, clears the ball forwards and City win the free kick in the end after a foul by Rudiger. Dara Azizi has joined us now as well. Welcome, Dara. Tuchel clearly not very happy with that decision from Anthony Taylor, but for me it was a clear foul. Tuchel has won his only previous game versus Manchester City as a coach. Of course, that came in the FA Cup, didn't it? That narrow win in the FA Cup semi-final that put Chelsea through. That, of course, next weekend, I think, isn't it? The FA Cup final, which will be played between Chelsea and Leicester City. Leicester, who can they hold on to a top four place? They've got some really, really rough fixtures now. Of course, they were beaten quite comfortably by Newcastle last night as well. Adam Hassan says, if City win, this will help Liverpool's chances of getting into the top four. Yep, 100%. I think a City win is the best scenario for us Liverpool fans today. As Chelsea on the ball now, and N'Golo Kante, big ball forwards there from Azpilicueta, but it was blocked by Nathan Ake. And Azpilicueta's got it again, and N'Golo Kante turns. Wasn't great from Kante, but Rudiger does well to get that under control and tries to play Werner through, but it got a deflection on its way, which took the pace off it, and Laporte is able to defend with ease there. A good turn from Sergio Aguero, who showed with his finish against Palace the other day. He's still got it. Gabriel Jesus, his shot is blocked by his teammate Aguero, and there's Mendy, who strikes wide. We've seen him score like that earlier on this season, haven't we, Benjamin Mendy? And he hits it first time there, and I thought it may be heading goal bound, but it goes just wide. So 8 minutes gone in this game, and I think we've seen how this game is going to be. Not too exciting. As Mendy takes the goal kick to Christensen and Rudiger, who has started the game well. Marcus Alonso now, who strikes the ball forwards. Werner gets his head on it first and presses City as Ruben Diaz thought he'd won Manchester City a throw. Yes, he has won Manchester City a throw. There was a bit of confusion there whose ball that was. Bottlebridge says again, Jack gets the boring games. Yeah, I'm not too good at picking the games, am I? You know, I've had a couple of good ones. I had West Ham Wolves, which was a really good game. It was a good laugh. Finished 3-2 in the end, that one earlier on in the season. Of course, I had Juventus Porto as well, which the second leg of that game, which was good. I had Everton Spurs, the 5-4 in the Cup. So I do get a good game here and there, but quite often I do end up getting Manchester City, and I hate watching Manchester City. I think most games that they play are boring. The Champions League final is going to be an absolute snooze fest, I tell you that for free. But here is Ferran Torres, who finds Cancelo to Rodri to Raheem Sterling, who hasn't had too much game time recently, has he? Raheem Sterling, he's fallen down the pecking order for Pep Guardiola. It's not been the greatest of seasons for Raheem Sterling, and it remains to be seen whether he'll keep his place in Gareth Southgate's Euro starting squad. As Ederson gets a touch of the ball at the back now for Manchester City. We're just inside the opening 10 minutes still. City resting some key players for this game today. No Gundogan, no Kevin De Bruyne, no Foden, who of course is still so young but has become a very important player for Manchester City this season. No Mahrez, who scored a brace of course against PSG in midweek. N'Golo Kante now wide to Azpilicueta. And now it's Billy Gilmour, the youngster, who really impresses me. Big fan of Billy Gilmour, mate. Andreas Christensen, the Danish centre-half for Chelsea, goes back to Mendy, who performed well yet again the other night. Benjamin Mendy, not Mendy. Sorry, I'm getting confused between my Mendys. There is Billy Gilmour now for Chelsea. Pulisic on the turn. Reece James roams forwards with the ball at his feet. Then turns back on himself and loses the ball. That's poor from Reece James. But then Mendy loses the ball to N'Golo Kante, and you can't make it that easy for N'Golo Kante at Ziyech now. What is that? These are two Champions League finalists, but some of the passing we've had here in the early stages has been abysmal, and Chelsea have got a throw inside the City half on the right-hand side now. Bottlebridge pointed out that there will be one Mendy winning the Champions League this season. Cheers, mate. Christensen now finds Azpilicueta as Chelsea pass the ball around the back. And then Rudiger gives it straight back to City and gives it to João Cancelo. It's interesting, we said with the City side, didn't we, that we didn't know how they'd line up today. And it's weird. Oh, but once again, Ake concedes possession and Sterling has to do really... Oh. Well, that's interesting. I thought Sterling won the ball, but Anthony Taylor clearly doesn't agree. He's put Sterling into the book. He's given Chelsea a free kick in a dangerous position. And let me have a look at the replay there. So, oh yeah, that's a nasty challenge there from Sterling, and stood showing. Yeah, over the top of the ball with his right leg. And don't get me wrong, he does get a bit of the ball, but it's a bit of a dangerous challenge, and a yellow card from Anthony Taylor is probably the right decision in the end. Remember to share this, please, on social media. Get the link, tweet it out, put it on Instagram, the works. Comment, like, get this shared as much as you can. The more people in the comments, the more people watching the stream, the better the stream will be, because I can answer all your questions, because I can tell you already, this game isn't going to be riveting. It's not going to be great. Marcus Alonso and Reece James, the two wing-backs for Chelsea, both stood over this free kick. It's on the right-hand side, about 22 or so yards out. It's a good position for Marcus Alonso on his left foot, I think. I think it will be him who hits it in the end. Let's have a look. Will it be Marcus Alonso or will it be Reece James over on the right-hand side of the pitch? It is Reece James who hits it straight into the wall. It's a poor free kick, really, but Marcus Alonso makes sure that Chelsea still have it, and he goes back to Reece James. I'm surprised that it was Reece James who ended up hitting that free kick. And here's Werner to Ziyech. Ziyech whips a ball in. That's a lovely ball, but good defending in the end from Nathan Ake, who heads and then brings it down under control and boots the ball up the field in the end towards Sergio Aguero, who is, of course, in his last season at Manchester City. Lots of rumours of where he might end up. But for me, I think he'll end up in sunny Spain, in Barcelona, with his mate Lionel Messi. As Chelsea pass the ball around now and Rudiger finds Andreas Christensen. Adam Hassan saying, who do I think will be man of the match today? Could be anyone. Could be anyone. At this point, in the first 15 minutes, no one's really stood out so far. The ball whipped in there from Reece James, but it's easily claimed by Ederson, the Brazilian. Between the sticks for Manchester City, of course. And City once again build from the back. Here is Ferran Torres to João Cancelo, back to Ferran Torres. Good pressure there and good pressing from Billy Gilmour. It was so close to winning back possession for Chelsea. Bottlebridge saying, genuinely Pep Guardiola's play style is very boring. Sometimes the best football is boring football. It's as simple as that. And, you know, whether or not it's entertaining, it's not most of the time watching Manchester City, but you have to recognise how good they are. They are such a good team. And they're not the greatest of games, let's be honest. But what a team. And undoubtedly for me, one of the best we've ever seen in Premier League history. As City will play the ball around the back again, Aymeric Laporte. Rodri, who gets his roll back in the side after losing it to Fernandinho the other day. On Fernandinho's 36th birthday, he of course started against PSG and was phenomenal, I thought. Here's Aguero for City. Really well played by Sergio Aguero. Sterling to Mendy. What can he do? Oh, lovely dummy as he faked across and then pulls it back to Rodri, who slips when hitting the ball and it takes a deflection and goes out for a City corner on the left-hand side. He did really well there, actually, Benjamin Mendy. But Reece James recovered well and got it away, kind of, only as far as Rodri, who was 30 or so yards out and struck the ball really well despite slipping. And it took a deflection and went out for a City corner. And City are tied with Chelsea and Everton and West Ham as the most goals from corners this season with 9. And there is the corner in, and it's met by the header of Nathan Ake, and it goes just wide. City close there to scoring once again from a corner. It was a really good ball in, actually, and it was flicked on. Oh, no, Ake heads it into his own man, I think. Yeah, I think Ake heads it. God knows what's happened there. It's come off a City player in the end, though, and Chelsea will now break at the other end. This is good football from Chelsea, and now Timo Werner's got an opportunity to run at Ruben Diaz, and he finds Billy Gilmour, who strikes the ball, but Mendy blocks, and now Ziyech hits it, but a City free kick is given as Gabriel Jesus was fouled. Let's have a look. In the comments, what are you lot saying? Do you think these two teams have earned it the most to be in the final? I assume you're meaning the Champions League final, mate. I think obviously City have probably earned it the most because of the teams they've played in the build-up. But nonetheless, I think both teams are very, very good defensively. And, you know, I often say attack wins your games, but it's the defence that wins you titles, that wins your championships. And, you know, that's what's good for both these clubs at the minute. Man City have sorted out their defence finally. They brought in Ruben Diaz, who has been a revelation for them. What a signing. And Chelsea have struggled. Well, they struggled under Lampard, didn't they, defensively? They leaked a lot of goals. It was never something that Lampard could get quite right. And Tuchel comes in, works on it, goes to the back three, and it works perfectly for Chelsea. And they've had a lot of clean sheets since he's come in. Kamaya says, City look in control, and their side is still good, even though players are rested. Yeah, they've got such a good squad, Manchester City, haven't they? Chelsea are the same, but they love to dominate possession. And I was thinking the other night, it's got to be one of the lowest for a while for City, their possession stats that day against PSG. But they got the job done, didn't they? Both of these two teams tied as the most clean sheets in Europe this season. Colette, I'm a Celtic fan with a super chat. Thank you very much, Colette. And unlucky on Celtic this season, as obviously we've seen the Scottish Premiership title go to Rangers after a very long time without it being at the Ibrox. And I'm intrigued, Colette. What do you think about the new manager of Celtic? Who do you think it will be? I'm hearing that Eddie Howe is pretty much a done deal. Are you happy with that? Henry. Oh, here's Werner, who found himself with a lot of space there, and Edison was caught out, but he's managed to backpedal into his goal now. And Marcus Alonso now. Christensen. Jensk 1102. Thank you very much for the super chat, Jensk. He says, when you comment City, you know it's going to be boring. Yeah, I do a lot of City games, don't I? And they are not the greatest. I assume Craig will be doing the Champions League final, and good luck to him. Because doing City isn't the best. It's not. They are a very boring watch. But I hope you enjoy the watch-alongs nonetheless. And as I say, if we have a chat, you know, in the comment, we will try and make them as entertaining as possible, despite whether the football is entertaining or not. And Chelsea have a free kick here in a good position. It's definitely the opportunity to put a good ball into cause City problems at the back. And it will be taken by Ziyech, who puts a nice looking ball in, but Nathan Ake does really well and heads it away for City. Here is Pulisic now for Chelsea. Sterling, Aguero. Oh, was that a foul? Yeah. Fouled by Ziyech, and that will be a free kick Manchester City's way. Let's have a look. David Fisher says, as a Rangers fan, I don't care who Celtic get as long as it's not Eddie Howe. He's a perfect fit for Celtic and plays a great brand of football. It seems to me like it is going to be Eddie Howe, Davey. So unfortunately for you, Rangers to be going undefeated really is marvellous in 2021. He's done a great job, Steven Gerrard, hasn't he? A really, really sensational job this season. And, you know, for them to go unbeaten as well for how far they went in Europe, he's done really, really well. And I'm intrigued to see how they do next season with Celtic, with a new manager, how they do in the Champions League as well. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Going to be very, very interesting. As Emerick Laporte switches the play to Benjamin Mendy, who knocks it back first time to Raheem Sterling. Mendy, Rodri. Henry says Steven Gerrard will be a sick Liverpool manager in the future. Yeah, he will. I don't think he's ready yet. I'd love to see him manage in the Premier League before he comes to Liverpool. I think he'd be a good fit for some of that Leeds when Bielsa leaves. So, yeah, I think, you know, go to Leeds first, see how it works there. And then if he's good enough, give him a shot. Give him a shot. I can't wait for, well, I never want to see Jurgen leave Liverpool Football Club, so Gerrard as manager, but it would be good to see Stevie G back and involve with Liverpool Football Club, wouldn't it? David Fisher saying it's underrated what Steven Gerrard's done as City put the corner in, and it's deflected back behind again for another Manchester City corner as we're halfway through the first half now. Sing Games pointing out that I think I had a bit of Wi-Fi issues there, so apologies if I cut out for a moment then. And the corner once again in from the left from Manchester City, but it's easily claimed now from Mendy. And he throws out quickly to Hakim Ziyech, who looks in behind the City defence for Timo Werner, but Benjamin Mendy is there to head with ease, and João Cancelo now to Rodri. Rodri back to Ruben Diaz, who, as I say, is for me the best signing in Europe this summer. He has transformed that Manchester City defence, hasn't he? Not only as a world-class player himself, but just he improves everyone around him. Ruben Diaz, a really, really good signing. Eliza John has joined us. She says, hi, Jack. Hi, Eliza. Thank you for joining us. Liverpool do have a huge game tonight, absolutely. Things have gone our way this weekend. Spurs have lost, Leicester have lost, and we can hope that Chelsea drop points here too. Bottlebridge saying, Craig told us you get busy with uni work. I wish you good luck in uni. You're a great guy. Thank you very much, Bottlebridge. Well, yeah, I had a dissertation to do, so that's why I've not been on here for a while. But I'm back now. I've got 2 more assignments, and then I'm done. I'm done with uni, and we'll see what happens next for me. But yeah, so I've got probably a week or 2 left of uni, and then I'm done. So yeah, you'll see a lot of streams from me now, and a lot over the summer. We've got some big plans, me, Craig, and Connor, for the European Championships this summer. There's one place you want to watch European Championship content, and that's here on Mundo Sporto, and of course Anfield Agenda too. Sing Games telling you here, smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you're liking this. Make sure you're sharing it on social media. Get the link, click copy, paste it into social media. Tweet it out, put it out on Instagram, get people joining us. That's, I always say, these watch-alongs are made better by the community and the comments, by the discussion, especially when we have a game like this. As I say, it's not the greatest, and it's dying for a goal. That's what it's missing right now. In fact, it's missing a lot. It's missing entertainment, to be honest with you. But here is Marcos Alonso, who finds Werner with a very nice pass, actually. And can Werner beat Aymeric Laporte? He can't. It's a good tackle from Laporte, and it goes out for a Chelsea throw, but Werner has stayed down. He looks in some pain. The German striker for Chelsea, and then number 11, Timo Werner, who hasn't had the best start to life in the Premier League, has he? It's not been his best season as his opening season in the Premier League. David Fisher says, it looks like Leicester are going to collapse in the top 4 race again. I see Chelsea getting 3rd. I think Chelsea will get 3rd too. West Ham, what do you reckon of West Ham's chances of top 4? Do you think it's possible? Do you think they'll do it? Adam Sheehan saying, hi Jack, what's up with your camera? What do you mean, what's wrong with the camera? Is there something wrong with the camera? Let me know if you can what's wrong with the camera. But here is Nathan Ake at the back for Manchester City, tosses the ball forwards, and it runs into the hands of Mendy. N'Golo Kante, who we spoke about, was tremendous against Real Madrid in midweek. Really at his best, N'Golo Kante. What a performance from him. Man of the match for me on the night in the second leg. When Chelsea blew Real Madrid away, Real Madrid were poor, but N'Golo Kante was so good. And to be honest, Chelsea could have scored a lot more than 2. They were really dominant. They had loads of chances. Loads of chances. Here is Christensen, who finds Rudiger now. Rudiger to Ziyech. Ziyech to Alonso. Alonso to Werner, who turns. Received the ball on the turn and finds Pulisic. Pulisic to Marco Alonso, who dummied it for Timo Werner, but City read that really well. But the ball's not away, and Chelsea go again and go to Kante. Hakim Ziyech looks to put the ball in, but it's a good block from João Cancelo, who finds Raheem Sterling, and now City will break and counter, and he looks across for Aguero. It's a poor pass, but City still have it. Gabriel Jesus, Sterling, Aguero, backwards to João Cancelo, Rodri, Nathan Ake to Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, a few different people. I'm getting mixed messages really about my camera quality. I am using a different laptop today, so maybe it's that, maybe it's the McDonald's Wi-Fi I've got here. But let me know if it gets better. Stephen Duffy says it doesn't matter anyway. I'm commentating, not making a cake. Oh, I wish I was making a cake. And it's backwards to Nathan Ake and Aymeric Laporte now. David Fisher saying, for me, West Ham will get fourth and Liverpool and Leicester will just fall short. Interesting. I wouldn't put it past West Ham to finish in the top four. I think they've been tremendous this season. David Moyes has found a system that works perfectly for West Ham, and it reminds me of his Everton side. And here are Chelsea with the ball at the back again. Half an hour gone here between Manchester City and Chelsea. Will City be crowned as Premier League champions today? They will do if they can beat Chelsea. But the first half an hour of this game has been extremely flat, extremely dull, extremely boring. Billy Gilmour, Reece James. Can he get there first? No, good defending from Aymeric Laporte, and now Edison clears forwards, looking for Jesus, and Chelsea deal with that well, and it's headed back to Mendy, and Chelsea build play from the back. That's really good football from Chelsea. Here is Billy Gilmour. Gilmour over to the left where Ziyech is, and Cancelo goes sliding in, but Ziyech remains with the ball at his feet. He finds Alonso on the overlap, who squares the ball. It's headed away, but it falls to the feet of Reece James and Timo Werner. Well, the ball is in the back of the net, but it's been ruled out for offside. Timo Werner was the man who put the ball in the back of the net. He's not had too many Premier League goals this season, has he? And he thought he had another one to add to his tally there, but he's a long way offside, actually. It was a poor effort from Reece James. He'll pretend it was a pass, but it was a failed shot, and it's fallen to the feet of Timo Werner, and he's in an offside position when he puts the ball in the back of the net. An easy one, that, for the linesman. A shame, really, because I feel like a goal may have brought this game to life a little bit. Should Moyes win Manager of the Season, says Dara Azizi. I think so. I do. It's an interesting one, though, isn't it? Because obviously if Pep Guardiola wins the Champions League as well, he's got every right to win it too. Here's Timo Werner, who should have done better there. He really should. Chelsea causing City a few problems in the last few minutes. But to be fair, I think if he'd have scored, it would have gone to VAR. And I think when they draw those silly lines, he'd have been probably a strand of hair offside. Davey Fisher saying Moyes has reinvented his game just like Pep, which is something Mourinho couldn't do, and something I think Klopp will also be too stubborn to be. It's interesting. He's just found something that works with West Ham, and they're very hard to break down, aren't they? And, you know, they've made some very good signings there, you know, which hasn't been the typical West Ham of recent years. You know, their recruitment this year has been very, very good. You know, players like Soufal, who's come in and been very good at right back for them. Craig Dawson, a good loan signing. Of course, Lingardinho, as he's called. and then Souček. But here come Chelsea again. Pulisic on the right-hand side. 12 minutes now before half-time. Can we get a goal in this game? Can we get something to make this game slightly more entertaining? Bottlebridge says Lingard for Ballon d'Or. City come away with the ball and they attack now through Sergio Aguero, who finds Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side. Raheem Sterling, what can he do with it? He comes inside, hits it. Saved by Mendy. And, of course, Raheem Sterling is the man with the armband for Manchester City today. Gents Eleven02 thinks Ollie should win the Manager of the Year. Not too sure about that one, Chief. Jake O'Neill saying, what's your prediction for Liverpool Southampton? We'll talk about that more towards the end of the game, of course. That kicks off at 8:15. Liverpool versus Southampton. A big one for Liverpool tonight. Southampton without quite a lot of players. No Danny Ings, of course. A big loss for them. No Ryan Bertrand as well. And several more missing for Southampton today. And Liverpool can really capitalise after other results have gone our way already this weekend. Leicester losing, Spurs losing. Hopefully Chelsea will drop points here too. Question saying, will there be a Man United Villa watch along? Probably. I think Craig will do that tomorrow. Here is Nathan Ake. Finds Benjamin Mendy. And back to Ake again and Emerick Laporte. Now with the ball. He is in the centre of that back three today with Ruben Diaz on the right of the three and Nathan Ake on the left of the three. Here is João Cancelo. Oh, yawning. I told you it was a snooze fest, this, didn't I? Here is Nathan Ake now on the left-hand side for City. City, can they create something? Mendy looks for Ake, who was underlapping him. City remain with the ball. Here's João Cancelo. João Cancelo has played an interesting role for City for the majority of the season, hasn't he? In an inverted fullback role. Here is Raheem Sterling now. As City build up play slowly. They like to do this, don't they? Slow build up play, and then all of a sudden they'll change the pace. They'll dictate the play. They'll dictate the tempo. It's what City and Pep Guardiola's Manchester City like to do. Benjamin Mendy, Sterling. Nice 1-2 between the two of them. And Mendy whips it in first time. And Christensen deals with it. Defending well, makes sure. And that is a Manchester City corner. On the left-hand side. Ah. 8 minutes left of this first half at the Etihad. City could win the Premier League today. Whipped in from Ferran Torres. It doesn't beat the first man though. It's headed away. Here's João Cancelo now, who goes all the way back to Edison. Not a fan of doing these City games. I say after every City game, don't know that I'll never do them again. And here I am again doing another City game. And once again, another City snooze fest. Eliza John saying, I think Everton v Spurs Cup game was the best game I've done on Monday Sport. So I would probably agree with you. I also enjoyed the Juve Porto game because bang. And of course, as well, I liked West Ham Wolves too because, you know, we had quite a few watchers that day. And, you know, I thought the comments that day were quite good. I enjoyed that one too. Well, here comes City again on the left-hand side. My screen's gone blurry, so I can't at the moment tell you who's on it. Gabriel Jesus now, Laporte. Ake looks through to Raheem Sterling, who has Mendy there. But Mendy's cross is severely overhit, and it goes out for a Chelsea throw on the other side. If you've just joined me and you're not watching the game yourselves and you're thinking, oh, I wonder what the game's like, this sums it up. Absolute snooze fest. Tell you now. Gonna have to get a coffee in a moment to make sure I don't fall asleep. But here we go. Laporte to Ruben Diaz. A goal would be nice. A goal would really burst this into life a tiny bit. And here is Rodri now at the back. Dara Azizi says, how's that cake coming along, Jack? Well, it would be more entertaining, wouldn't it, if we just sat here and made a cake? What a poor game of football, but you can see City dominating possession in the last 10 minutes, 68% possession to Chelsea. Chelsea's 32, and they like to do that, don't they, City? As I say, it wasn't normal to see what City did the other night. Very much played on the counter-attack, let PSG have a lot of the ball. As I say, City made quite a few changes today, and after some of the tackles that PSG made in midweek, I'm not surprised that there's a few City players that wanted a rest. Tyler Brown saying that yawn was rude, Jack. I can't help myself. What a poor game of football. I really can't. Bottlebridge says, take a nap, you won't miss anything. Kamir wants a chocolate cake. Well, maybe one day I'll have to do that on Windows Sport. And maybe that can be like a... Maybe when Windows Sporto reaches 50k subscribers, that's what I'll do. A cake video. I'll have to obviously ask Craig, but if the people want it, the people can get it. A Juve fan tuning in. Welcome, RB Comps. Apparently Atletico drew with Barca today. That title race in La Liga is very, very close, isn't it? A really close title race over there. And I think I saw the other day that, there's three or four teams who are separated by only a couple of points. Sevilla are even in with a shout of winning the title there now. So should I have a look and let you know what it's like? Yeah, why not? Oh, it's not like this game is too interesting. What did you all make of the championship today? Topsy-turvy, weren't it? There at the bottom of the table. If you don't know, obviously it was between Sheffield Wednesday, Derby and Rotherham for who would go down. Wickham had to win 12-0 or something ridiculous if they wanted to stay up. But in the end, Derby survived after going 1-0 down. They then went 2-1 up. They were then 3-2 down. Rotherham led from the 8th minute of the game till the 88th minute. If they won, with the score finishing 3-3 between Sheffield Wednesday and Derby, they would have stayed up. That would have been enough to keep them up. But Cardiff, in the 88th minute, ruined Rotherham's dreams. And there, I'm sure, are a lot of tears in Rotherham tonight. What a league the Championship is, by the way. So hard to call. Who'd have thought Derby would be in the situation they're in big, big trouble. Then Dustin McGee saying, will the Liverpool match be on Windows Sporto? Unfortunately not. You'll have to head over and watch Craig on Anfield Agenda for that one. He will be doing a live watch along. Remember, 8:15 kickoff there in that game. And yes, a big, big fight tonight. Boxing. Canelo versus Saunders. Oh, and that's a good effort, and it forces a good save out of Edison there. Probably one of the best chances of the game so far, that, and I missed who had the effort. And Rudiger strikes from distance a long way over in the end. He was about 25 yards out, that Chelsea centre-back when he hit that, and it was Ziyech, the one before, who forced a good save from Edison. And here we go with Manchester City now playing the ball around the back. It is over to Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz looks in behind. There he is. I tell you what, poor defending from Chelsea. And it's squared. Aguero, Sterling. 1-0 to Manchester City. Raheem Sterling, who won't be happy with the game time he's had recently, but he has got his chance today, and City are one step closer to the Premier League title. It was inevitable anyway, but the question was, could they do it today? And once again, Christensen caught out. Poor defending from him. He's remained down. I don't know if he's pulled something in the process of being shit, but it's too easy for City that. It's a ball from Diaz, a long ball, and Christensen just tries to clear it. There's perhaps a little shove in the back from Jesus, but if there is, there's not much in that. No, that's poor from Christensen, who just throws a leg at it in the end. And then Gabriel Jesus squares it. Does really well then, Gabriel Jesus. And Aguero and Sterling both got in each other's way, but in the end, it's Raheem Sterling who puts the ball in the back of the net. And finally, we have something to talk about in this game, as City have taken the lead against Chelsea. And if it stays like this, City will be crowned Premier League champions today. It's Raheem Sterling's 10th Premier League goal of the season, his first since February. He's not been doing too well recently, has he? But he's on the score sheet today, and that may be the goal that wins this game for City and wins the title for Manchester City. And he's done it just before the break. And Chelsea have an injury concern here as the board goes up for 1 minute of added time. Christensen, as I say, has stayed down after injuring himself in the process of some shit defending. But it will be Kurt Zouma who replaces him by the looks of it. And it's whether Chelsea will just wait now until the break to make the change. They've got 30 seconds left of the half. He's not moving right, Christensen. Eliza John says, be great if Chelsea lose. It will be, won't it? I mean, the title is pretty much wrapped up for City. They're going to win it anyway, whether it be today or not. So for us, for Chelsea to drop points in a weekend where we've seen Spurs lose to Leeds, who, by the way, if they make a good couple of signings in the summer, they keep hold of key players, they're going to be a real side next season with fans back in stadiums as well. They beat Spurs earlier on, of course, Leeds. And it's pulled back by Cancelo. It's fallen to Sterling. Can they make it 2? Penalty. Well, after a poor first 44 minutes in this half, we've had a City goal and now we have a City penalty. And VAR might need to be used here, but it looked like a penalty at first glance to me. As Billy Gilmour, the youngster, with naive defending really there. And yeah, that's a penalty. There's no question about that for me. I don't think he's purposely done it, Billy Gilmour. I don't think there's any intent in that at all. But he does catch Gabriel Jesus, and it is naive. And from nowhere in this game, City will now have the chance to go 2-0 up. Thomas Tuchel on the sideline, really not impressed with that decision from Anthony Taylor, but Sergio Aguero will have the chance to double Manchester City's lead. And all of a sudden, after a snooze fest in the first 44 minutes, we've had an exciting 2 minutes. I'll take it. But here we go. Sergio Aguero from the spot. Not got long left for him in a City shirt, does he? This could be his last goal for the club if he scores, but he has to convert first. Sergio Aguero. Oh, he misses. He tried the Panenka, and Mendy reads him like a book, and Pep Guardiola does not look happy. But Sergio Aguero there, what a tosser. I mean, sometimes it works and it looks great, but there, it wasn't fooling Mendy. And Mendy went to dive, but in the end realised what Aguero was doing and managed to prevent City from doubling their lead. And there we have it. At the break, Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0. City missed a penalty just moments after Raheem Sterling had put them ahead. Billy Gilmour conceded the penalty, but Aguero tried the dink, tried the Panenka, and misses. Tried to be clever, but in the end, he looks like a clown. And he probably won't get to take a penalty again in a Manchester City shirt. I'll tell you that now for free. But how important might that end up being of a save from Benjamin Mendy? Because Chelsea are still in this game, and as I say, it's half time now. And before I analyse the first half, which there's not too much analysis to do, and I answer your comments, there's just a reminder of our sponsors for today, OneFootball. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is the only football app you need to follow thousands of teams, hundreds of leagues and competitions worldwide. It is packed with all the latest news, videos, fixtures, scores, stats, and key dates, and it personalizes the content that you want. It allows you to put your favorite team in, your favorite leagues, the fixtures you want to follow. It is an incredible app that I use, all my friends use, my family use it, everyone I know uses OneFootball, and if you're not using it yet, you need to go and download it. So there we go. Download the OneFootball app. Obviously, there's this graphic here, the lineups graphic that was taken from OneFootball. It's such a good app, and if you don't have it, there's a link in the description. Click on that, download the app, do us a favour, and that would be brilliant. Honestly, you need to have that. And if you lot haven't downloaded it by now, what are you doing? Click that link and download it. Just try it out, even if you don't want to keep it after a bit. Try it. Why not? What have you got to lose? Just try it. For me, just try it. But there we go. I need to stop the clock. So there we go. I'll stop the clock there. An interesting 45 minutes, to say the least. We had a boring first 44 minutes. And then the game just sprung into life, didn't it? We had, obviously, the goal, Raheem Sterling, after poor defending from Christensen. It really was terrible defending, and he injured himself in the process of being shit. And then City got a penalty. Billy Gilmour penalised for a foul on Gabriel Jesus. And, Aguero tried the Panenka, tried to be clever, and absolutely fucked it up. So the scoreline remains City 1, Chelsea 0, and that is what it is at the break. So let me go into the comments and see what you lot made of the first half and other questions that you may have. When do West Ham play? They have Everton tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully that is a draw and they drop points and Everton drop points, and it looks, that will look good then for us, won't it? It'll be a good weekend if we can get 3 points later on today against Southampton. Era Katantan. I don't know why I made so much hard work of that. He says, do you think Liverpool have a chance of top 4? Of course we do. If we win every game between now and the end of the season, and teams around us keep dropping points, of course we still have a chance. Is it likely? I don't think so. I don't think we'll get top 4, but we have a chance. It's as simple as that. So yeah, it's possible, but unlikely. That's my opinion. Eliza John says, hopefully United are fatigued come Thursday. 100%. I've seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really isn't happy with their schedule, is he? And he said that they're going to have to play a weakened side in a couple of the games. Callum LFC says Liverpool 1, Southampton 1. I think going to be same old LFC this season. I hope not, mate. Southampton have got a lot of absentees today, and it's a game that we really must be winning. Let's have a look. Any other comments? Any questions you want to ask me? Now's the time to do it. Half time. There's not too much to talk about from the first half, as there weren't the greatest of games. So I'll answer as many questions as possible. And there is the comment. There is the comment from Jensk1102. Don't forget to like. If you're not already subscribed to Mundo Sporto, just press that subscribe button. Just press it, because we need you. So yeah, press that subscribe button. Let's try and get us to that next landmark. Anfield Agendas hit 100k now, buzzing for Craig and Connor. Let's get this one next. Let's get Mundo Sporto to 100k. We're on the road to it now. How quickly can we get there? What do you lot think? When can we get there? Can we get 100k? Of course we can. And let's have a look. Do you have your own channel, says John Stokes? No. So I'll let you know a bit about me. So I did, obviously I'm at university at the minute. I'm in my last year. I've just finished my dissertation. I've got 2 more assignments to do. Had a placement at the Redmen TV. From that, I've got a channel that I do for them called The Academy, where I look at all academy players and players under 23, really, and talk about the youth football. And then I do work for Craig now on Monday Sporto and on Anfield Agenda, and Connor, of course. And I love it. They're 2 great blokes, 2 top blokes. And I really enjoy working with them, and I enjoy doing these streams, and you lot are top people. So yeah, there we go. Let's have a look. BM says, I want to see Ox or Jones start today. Be interesting. Who's your favourite all-time player? Well, Steven Gerrard was my hero growing up. Of course he was. I'm that generation. I'm 21 years old, nearly 22. And I grew up loving Steven Gerrard. I was one of them fanboys where I was called Jack Gerrard on social media and all sorts. So, yeah. Yeah. Dara Azizi says the Ox is finished. Interesting. Do you think he'll leave Liverpool this summer? Let me know what you think. Messi for me. Playing with Ninja, I really like Lionel Messi. He's the GOAT for me. Greatest of all time. And don't get me wrong, I think Ronaldo is equally, for me, I think Ronaldo is the second best player of all time. I think he is a phenomenal talent, and I hate comparing the 2 of them. But for me, I prefer Messi. I prefer watching Messi. I think Messi's the slight better player. So, yeah, that's me. Do I play football? I actually referee. I used to play football. I still play a bit of 5-a-side now, and I train with it. I don't. I trained with a team the other day, and I enjoy playing football. But I'm not very good at it. So no, I don't really play it much anymore. And that's why I ref at the end of the day. Where are you from? I'm from Birmingham originally. I'm living in Manchester at the moment because that's where I am studying at uni. And my house away from uni is Staffordshire. So I'm all over the shop, mate. All over the shop. Let's have a look. Anything else? Rooney or Aguero? Ooh, that's a really interesting one. I'll have to have a think about that, mate, and get back to you. Thomas Kennedy? No, there was none of that, mate. I'm still in contact with all the Redmen lot. Still do videos for them when they need me. But I was just on placement there with uni, and that was that. So now I work for Craig, and yeah, I enjoy doing stuff for Redmen, and I enjoy working for Craig and Connor. So there we have it. Let's have a look. Robbo or Shaw? Robbo for me. I'm biased though. Salah or Hazard? Again, Salah for me. Let's have a look. Elijah John says, Jack, the reason you became a Liverpool fan. So I always talk about this. My dad was born and bred in North Wales, in Bangor. And he said that as a kid, in North Wales, it was either Liverpool or Manchester United, really. And him and his big brother picked Liverpool. They were big Liverpool fans as kids. And I've been brought up by my dad as a Liverpool fan. There's a picture of me not long after I came out of the womb in my first Liverpool kit. And I've been going the games since I was very, very young. So, yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan because of my dad. And it's as simple as that. Let's have a look. Good evening, says Little Big Man. He says Leicester City lost, Spurs lost, and Chelsea losing to Man City. The door wide open for Liverpool, West Ham for top 4 and Champions League qualification. Yep, Liverpool are really still in it. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully we get 3 points later, and then we're definitely back in the race for top 4. We really are. Nobody seems to want to finish 4th, do they? So yeah, we'll see. BM says, how are you going to travel from Manchester to Craig in Ireland for 100k Plorge opening? I will 100% get to Ireland for the 100k. for Mundo Sporto. I'll get there, don't you worry. But yeah, I do. Me and Craig have spoken before about hopefully one day I'll be able to get over to Ireland and we'll be able to do a joint watch along or something together. So yeah, fingers crossed one day we can do something like that. Only if we never bottled Newcastle, says BM. Exactly story of our season, mate, isn't it, at the minute? Do you think Chelsea will sign up? No. It's interesting, though. There's a lot of people that have said all season that, I think Salah will go at the end of the season. Who's going to pay 100 million for Mo Salah? You know, in a market how it is at the moment, in this summer when Salah, of course, we're missing him at the start of the season because he's playing for Egypt in the Olympics. Then halfway through the season, he is going to play in the African Cup of Nations. So for me, no one's going to pay that money this year. And, you know, also it shows that we need to get more attacking options, don't we? Because if we lose Mane and Salah halfway through the season again next year to the African Cup of Nations, it's going to be a big loss for us. Elijah John says, were you ever in Ireland before? No, never lived in Ireland. I've been to Ireland once. That's it. Connell Taylor says, Peterborough United going up to the Championship. Yes, really happy for Peterborough. You know, I interviewed their chairman, or El Presidente, as he likes to go by the name of, Darren McAntony. He's a top bloke and a Liverpool fan too. And, you know, he invests in Peter really well. And the sign of Johnson Clark-Harris after selling Ivan Toney was really good for them. Obviously, the player of the year and the Golden Boot winner in League One. So, you know, hopefully they do well in the Championship. And big respect to Dara. And congratulations to him and to you if you're a Peterborough fan, mate. Elijah John saying Leeds have had a great season. Yes, they have. And they're only going to get better when their fans are back in Ellen Road, when Bielsa ball is really flowing in the Premier League, if they manage to keep hold of their top players like Calvin Phillips, Stuart Dallas, of course, Rafinha is another big one for them. If they can keep hold of them and have a good summer again, then absolutely, I think they'll be a really top side next season. I really do. And they might push for Europe next year. Adam Hassan says, do you do watch-alongs for the Championship League? We haven't this season. We haven't done watch-alongs for the Championship, but whether that is something that we do in the future, we'll see. You know, also with Mundo Sporto, I think at some point we want to branch into other sports and not only football. For example, there's things like tonight with the boxing. I would love to do stuff like that. So, yeah, that's something that me and Craig and Connor will sit down with and chat about, I'm sure. Because would that be something you're interested in? For example, you know, a big fight tonight between Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders. There's been a lot about this in the last week or so, hasn't there? There's been arguments about the size of the ring and all sorts. But it's going ahead tonight. Big fight over in America. And I can't wait for it. I really can't. I'm going to go to sleep after the Liverpool game. I'm going to get a nice early bed. And then I am going to wake up at I think it's 3-4 in the morning that it starts, isn't it? I'm going to wake up and I'm going to watch that. And maybe one day, as I say, we'll do watch-alongs for stuff like that. Elijah John says, love the background pics. I collect them too for my Liverpool room. Yes, I'm back away from my uni home at the minute. I'm back at home, and you know, this is my collection behind me. It goes across the whole wall. It's been years worth of collecting. So there we have it. But there's a few curses on that wall. Obviously, there's Genie behind me, who is leaving at the end of the season. But you know, that night in Barcelona, never forget that. I was there, the greatest night of my life. And, you know, I honestly don't know if, you know, I'm still very young, but one day I hope to get married and have kids and all that. I honestly think that Liverpool versus Barcelona might still be one of the greatest nights of my life, even after that. Jegster says you guys should do boxing. Yeah, I hope that me and Craig one day will do something like that, mate. I really do. Let's have a look. What are your predictions for tonight's game? I think it will be a big win for Liverpool. I'm saying 4-0. That's my prediction. There we go. Or will it be another 9-0? No, 4-0. 4-0. But Kurt Zuma, we can see, has come on now. He, of course, replaced Christensen, who, as I said, injured himself in the process of shit defending before. And City will kick us off for the second half in a moment. It will be Raheem Sterling, the goal scorer, who gets the first touch of the half, and we are underway for the second half. And there we go. I've started the clock. Here we go. As City lead Chelsea by a goal to nil. They could have been more than that, of course, but Aguero was a donkey from the penalty spot and tried up an anchor and ended up looking like a clown. There we go, Connor saying we will do boxing content, me versus Craig. If it's what the people want, we'll give it to them. Jegster says, Jack, you should do a re-watch along for 2005 Champions League final. Interesting. I've not thought about doing re-watch alongs. Would you want me to watch the whole 90 minutes? I'd be happy to do it. Again, something I'll chat to the other two about. Place your bets, Jack versus Craig. But here we go. City are going again. Gabriel Jesus goes backwards. They're just so dull, aren't they, City? Emerick Laporte now at the back for the Citizens. Turns on the ball and whips it over to the right-hand side. That's poor. And it goes out for a Chelsea throw. Let's have a look. Tyler Brown saying, knowing my luck, I get a re-watch along of a City game. Callum LFC predicted Aguero would chip it, apparently. He also thinks Liverpool will finish 1-1 later. Sean Attard says, if you were able to switch one Manchester United starter with one Liverpool starter, who would you choose? Oh. That's a really, really tough question. Are we saying that it's fully fit with fully fit squads? Because honestly, fully fit squad, I would not switch any Manchester United player with Liverpool players. Honestly, I wouldn't. But at the minute, with current form, I would switch Bruno Fernandes for Gini Wijnaldum, because Gini's going anyway. I think he hasn't been in the greatest of forms in the last few games, and at the moment, that's what I'd do. But with a fully fit squad, as I said, and taking current form of Gini Wijnaldum out of it, I would. What was I saying? I would not swap any of them, because I think, when Liverpool have a fully fit squad, I honestly think we have the best 11, or at least one of the best 11s in world football. I really, really do. Anthony Davis says I would take a 4-0 win, Jack. Here come Chelsea again. Pulisic, Kante, Pulisic. We need City to do us a favour here and hold on. If they do, they will be crowned Premier League champions this evening. The ball is threaded through towards Timo Werner, but he can't get it out his feet, and City win it back. And now Nathan Ake with the ball. Ederson now at the back with it for Manchester City. And he loses it as Chelsea have got the ball back inside the City half with N'Golo Kante, who finds Billy Gilmore, who conceded the penalty, of course. The youngster was a bit naive defending from the Scotsman. Evil Taker says, thoughts on Aguero penalty? Absolutely shite. You've got to have confidence to try it. And Aguero is definitely skilled enough to try something like that. But it either works and you look good, or it doesn't work and you look like a tit. And to do it when you're 1-0 up and you could double the lead and it pretty much be game over at half time, I just think is ridiculous. And, you could see the anger on the face of Guardiola. They miss a lot of penalties, Manchester City, don't they? Anthony Davis says, PS, that's the Liverpool game, Jack. Yeah, I know. Tyler Brown says, I'm going to hate giving City the Guard of Honour, seeing as we were so smug last season with it. We don't have to give them one. So we don't have to play City again, do we? So we don't have to give them one. It's nice. This is probably my favourite comment of the day from Robert Wagona, who says, you're in crack thinking every Liverpool starter is better than United, crackhead. Cheers, Rob. Laporte finds Rodri, and Rodri to Benjamin Mendy. Just the one yellow card in that first half as well, of course, as Raheem Sterling was booked for a bit of a nasty tackle. And that's a good ball forwards. And it's headed down by Ferran Torres to Aguero, who hits it first time, but it's saved with ease in the end by Mendy. And Chelsea will play it around the back again now with Zuma, Rudiger, Kante, back to Azpilicueta, who plays it through to Kante. Kante to Reece James. Here is Reece James on the right for Chelsea. Good pass to Hakim Ziyech, who strikes it from 25 yards. But it's an easy save from Edison, who manages to hold on to the ball. And City will build from the back again. And here's João Cancelo, who looks forwards to Gabriel Jesus, who is brought down, and the free kick given by Anthony Taylor. I think Jesus was hoping for a booking for the Chelsea defender Rudiger as well, but I don't think it's come. Here are City again with Ruben Diaz at the back. Now, Aymeric Laporte, who comes forwards with the ball, and that's a lovely ball in behind towards Sergio Aguero. What can he do? Can he create something here? He finds Sterling, the goal scorer. Sterling looks to skip past Azpilicueta. Really, really good defending from the Chelsea veteran and captain, as the two captains collide. And Raheem Sterling isn't happy there. He believes Azpilicueta caught him with a frailing arm. Bolton have been promoted today as well, apparently. I mean, congratulations to Thogden and Thogdad for that. And of course, Jacob from Jacob Chuck It or Scran It. Evil Taker says, what's your predictions on the Liverpool game for later? I said earlier, mate, I'm confident today. I think 4-0. It's my prediction. Sorry for the yawn. It's not the most entertaining games. And here's Reece James, who skips past Benjamin Mendy. He goes forwards on the right-hand side. It's a poor touch, really, that means Ake can get back and defend well. And Reece James has to turn on himself and find Pulisic. Poor from Pulisic, who loses it to Rodri, and City win the ball back. Nathan Ake to Laporte. Donald Bellas Kimball says, who do you want to win? As a Liverpool fan, I want City to win today. Why? Because if Chelsea drop points, then we've had Spurs dropping points, Chelsea dropping points, and Leicester dropping points this weekend. And, you know, a win tonight then for us against Southampton would put us in great stead again to, you know, push for top 4. And I keep saying, it's still possible. It is still possible. It's unlikely, don't get me wrong, but it's possible. Kurt Zouma for Chelsea, who finds Rudiger now. Rudiger to Billy Gilmore, who was a surprise start for Chelsea today. Reece James finds Pulisic in the centre. He's got a lot of space and time to turn. Werner, can he get there? No. Runs through to Edison. We've got Pablo Escobar's cousin in the comments as well, by the looks of it. I have no idea what that means, but cheers. Here is Emerick Laporte, who finds Diaz at the back for Manchester City. The good news as well is there's 35 minutes left of this game and then it'll be over. It's not been a good game. There was 2 minutes literally just before half time where it livened up and now it's gone flat again. As Chelsea were kicked just inside the City half, and after a foul on Reece James by Benjamin Mendy, and it's taken quickly by Chelsea, who go backwards with it. And then they play it forwards towards Hakim Ziyech, who is tackled by João Cancelo, who wins Man City a free kick, and Ziyech can't quite believe that. It did look soft to me, but I think it probably was a free kick. So over half an hour to go in this game. Let's have a look in the comments, see what you lot are saying, see what you lot are thinking of this game. This ball fest between Man City and Chelsea. As Laporte finds Ruben Diaz on the right-hand side now for Manchester City. And Diaz with a lovely clip ball in behind towards Sterling. But Mendy is a long way out of his goal and he just lets the ball go out for a goal kick. Evil Taker says, who do you think will win the Champions League final? I've got a strange feeling it'll be Chelsea. Just a weird feeling for me. So, yeah, that's what I think. And I think Leicester will win the FA Cup. But I think Leicester will win the FA Cup, but miss out on top 4. There's the prediction for you. And here is N'Golo Kante now for Chelsea. Billy Gilmore spots Pulisic free on the right-hand side. He's got Reece James overlapping him, but instead he puts it onto his left foot and then pulls it back to Kante, who is forced to turn and has his back to goal now, but he does really well there to pick out Pulisic and receives the ball back. And now Reece James, Kante again. Can Chelsea get back into this game? Reece James. Well, I predicted a 1-1 ahead of this game, didn't I? Can Chelsea equalise? Jegster says, Jack, can you see Chelsea dropping more points in their last matches? Well, let's see who they've got. Let's have a look. Chelsea fixtures. It's going to be interesting. They've got Arsenal on Wednesday, haven't they? So hopefully Arsenal can do us a favour there and get something out of them. It's Arsenal, so I doubt it, but you never know. They beat them earlier on in the season, didn't they? So we'll have to wait and see. A draw would be good enough there. Then they've got Leicester, which again, a draw. I'd love a draw in that one. And then Villa. Oh, so some tough matches there for Chelsea. I can see them dropping points. Yeah, I can. But here come Chelsea on the left-hand side, and Marcus Alonso goes to pull it across, but it's blocked and it goes out for a Chelsea throw. Evil Taker says, I would like Chelsea to win the final more than Man City. Brewer Moment is watching Galatasaray versus Besiktas. Interesting. He says it's boring like this one. Yep. Absolute snooze fest at the Etihad between the two Champions League finalists this season. It's not a good advertisement for the Champions League final, I'll tell you that for free, as Reece James hits the ball on the edge of the box, but it's blocked well. And then it's whipped in by Azpilicueta, but Ederson comes out and claims, and he rolls it out quickly. City look to counter. A comment here from Mark, who points out that Neymar has signed a deal until 2025 at PSG, putting to bed any rumours that he may leave the Parisians in the summer, as Pulisic hits an effort, a snapshot, a long way over in the end. Jegster says, Jack, you could be worse. You could be watching an Arsenal game. Well, I think I'll probably end up doing that on Wednesday, maybe. We'll see. I don't know which games I'll be doing in midweek yet. But that's really, really good defending from Chelsea then as they win the ball back, as it looked like City were through. Azpilicueta now. Chelsea have half an hour to get something out of this game. If they can't, Manchester City will be crowned as Premier League champions today with 3 games to go. And here go City. Benjamin Mendy backwards now to Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake finds Rodri. Mark has asked an interesting question. Oh, I thought City were in there, but it's ran through to the hands of Mendy. And Mark says, okay, what is the worst penalty ever in the league, in the history of the league? Is it Arsenal Perez when he tried to pass to Henry, or City's Aguero trying to do a Panenka? For me, it's got to be that Arsenal one. That's just comical, isn't it? It's got to be the worst one of all time for me. Chelsea on the ball now. It's their turn to enjoy a spell of possession as Kante finds Rudiger. Some good passing play here from Chelsea. Kante turns on the ball and goes left to Marcos Alonso, back to Kante, who was instrumental in Chelsea's success in midweek. Man of the match against Real Madrid with an outstanding performance. And Ake back to Edison now, who finds Rodri. And Rodri roams forwards with the ball for City. Here he goes. But he's lost it, and Rodri loses it to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta to Hakim Ziyech. Lovely turn from Pulisic. Azpilicueta pulls it back. Hakim Ziyech to... Oh, what a goal. 1-1. And there you go. City cause their own problems. They lose the ball. And Hakim Ziyech, who scored the winner, I think, against Manchester City in the FA Cup earlier on in the season. He's the man who's got the equaliser for them today. And I wouldn't say it's been coming, but City just lacklustre in the last 5-10 minutes. They've not been the same as they've been in the opening 50 minutes of this game. They've been dominant for the majority of this one, but they find themselves level now. And now, how important is that Aguero miss from the spot? I said at the time it might end up being really important. And Chelsea, boosted by that wasteful Aguero penalty, and it's Ziyech's second Premier League goal of the season, and all of a sudden Chelsea are back in this. And by the way, there was a couple of comments before the goal went in the back of the net telling me that there's been a goal. Please don't do that. Please don't spoil it. I am slightly behind. I watched the game on Sky Go. Ryan Babel has scored for Galatasaray to make it 1-0 against Besiktas, apparently. Thank you for a moment. Ryan Babel. There's a name. A blast from the past. So here come Chelsea again with some good passing on the left-hand side. They have drawn level. Hakim Ziyech, the goal scorer. But Aguero now will be ruining his decision to Panenka the penalty. A poor one. Oh, and Kante's in behind. There's so much space on that right-hand side for Chelsea. And can Kante produce a good ball? Kante squares it. It's headed away. Only as far as Billy Gilmore, who feinted a shot and in the end was challenged by Rodri and wins Chelsea a throw-in. Chelsea looking good now. Reece James will take the throw for the away side, and Chelsea find themselves level with Manchester City. City were 1-0 up. They had a penalty which Aguero Panenka and missed. And Chelsea, in the last couple of minutes or so, have level proceedings at the Etihad and may spoil City's celebrations. A win, of course, wins them the title. And Chelsea get the free kick. Gabriel Jesus penalised for a foul there on Rudiger. And Pep Guardiola with his hand on his head. I don't think he can quite believe what's gone on here. City could have put the game to bed on the stroke of half-time had Aguero not have Panenka the penalty and been left looking like an absolute clown as Mendy read him like a book. And a comment here from the serving soda RBLX who says, come on Chelsea. I could do with Manchester City winning here, to be honest. It's inevitable they're going to win the title anyway, so it doesn't really change anything if they win. And Chelsea dropping points is big for us in our battle for top four. And it looks like City are preparing to make a couple of changes. They rested a lot of players for today, didn't they? And a couple of them I can see getting ready to come on now as İlkay Gündoğan, City's top goal scorer this season, is going to come on, and so is Phil Foden, the young prodigy, who for me is up there with Mbappe and Haaland. What a talent. What a talent Phil Foden is. And a lot of people thought Chelsea would miss Mason Mount today, but they find themselves level with City, who, as I say, made changes and haven't been at their best. Laporte finds Gabriel Jesus, who looks in behind towards Aguero. Marcos Alonso with very good defending, and it's a Chelsea corner. Sorry, a City corner. And Chelsea will make a sub as Jorginho is getting ready to come on for the visitors. And it's N'Golo Kante, the man who took all the headlines in midweek with an excellent performance against Real Madrid. But he comes off after 68 minutes at the Etihad and is replaced by the Italian stallion, Jorginho. And both Phil Foden and Gündoğan are receiving their instructions from Pep Guardiola and his assistant, and I assume they'll come on next time the ball goes out of play. The ball whipped in from the corner, but no City man can get to it first, and Chelsea look to counter. It's their goal scorer, Hakim Ziyech, who goes over to the left-hand side now, where he finds Timo Werner, but that is perfect defending. Brilliant defending. That is sensational from João Cancelo, I think it is. But the referee has had to stop play. Werner stayed down with a head injury. He's claiming that he was caught in the face. Really good defending from João Cancelo. He was caught in the face, Werner, completely accidentally. But Werner isn't happy. City still not doing the subs yet. You can see Foden and Gündoğan, though, ready to come on. Ake to Emerick Laporte. Back to Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake over the top towards Raheem Sterling, who opened the scoring for us today, didn't he? With his goal in the first half, just before the break. But there was still enough time for Aguero to miss a penalty after his goal. Whipped in, out for a corner to Manchester City. And the subs will be made now for Manchester City, and it's Ferran Torres who comes off for Phil Foden. And I can't see the other one as yet, but İlkay Gündoğan, the German, will be the other man to come on. And the two players both departing from behind the goal. And Aguero is the second man to come off. And that doesn't really surprise me with what he did from the spot. I'm sure Pep Guardiola is very, very angry with the Argentine, but the corner doesn't meet the first man. And Gundogan with his first touch slices at it. It's not a nice effort. He's hit the ball sweeter in his career, I'll tell you that for free. And it goes a long, long, long way over and wide in the end. 20 minutes left of this one. The score is Manchester City 1, Chelsea 1. Gundogan finds Phil Foden. Phil Foden now to Rodri. Rodri over to Diaz, who plays a 1-2 with Rodri. And then he tries to clip it over the top towards Phil Foden, but good defending from both Rudiger and Kurt Zouma. Rudiger did really well to deal with Phil Foden there, and Phil Foden pressing Chelsea now, forcing them to be quicker with their passing along the back. And there's a challenge from behind there from Aymeric Laporte, who might go into the book. No, it will be just a warning from Anthony Taylor. Peter Salter says, Chelsea have not scored. Yes, they have, mate. It's 1-1. Chelsea, free kick here for Rudiger. He'll take it. As the ball is switched over to Reece James on the right-hand side. Reece James pulls it across. So close. A lovely ball in from the Chelsea right back. And Werner was there sliding in, but couldn't quite get on the end of it. And Chelsea looking the more likely to score a second right now. It's over to the left-hand side again where Marcus Alonso is for Chelsea. He finds Billy Gilmour, who goes backwards to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta over to Rudiger. Now remember I said 1-1 before the game. Will it stay like this or not? Well, let's have a look at that again. A lovely ball over to the right-hand side where Reece James is, and he beats Mendy far too easily. And then the ball is so nearly inch perfect across the goal. And Werner's there sliding in. There's two City men sliding in too, Laporte and Diaz, but they miss it. Werner misses it. And it remains 1-1. Here is Billy Gilmour. I think, no, it's Pulisic who finds Hakim Ziyech, who whips it in, and Werner can't quite get his head on it. And now City dribble it away through Ilkay Gundogan, Benjamin Mendy, Rodrigo, or Rodri, as we know him. Over to the right-hand side where João Cancelo is. Laporte, Aymeric Laporte, Benjamin Mendy. I need some cocktail sticks to keep these open because the game has gone very, very flat again between City and Chelsea. And Billy Gilmour now on the ball. He finds Rudiger. Rudiger to Christian Pulisic, back to Rudiger, back to Zouma, who goes to his goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. Jorginho, who has not long come off the bench for Chelsea. It was Kante that he replaced, of course. Over to the left-hand side where Rudiger is, back to Kurt Zouma. Kurt Zouma to Billy Gilmour, who has been decent today for Chelsea. He really has. Gave away a penalty, of course, which Chelsea really should have been punished for. It was naive defending that from Billy Gilmour, but on the ball he's done some lovely plays. He's been decent. Few people just joining us now. We've got Sabi and Mark joining us. I am good, thank you guys. I am tired, really tired, especially after watching this snooze fest. But We've had some good moments in this game. Obviously, we've had 2 goals, the Sterling one and the Hakim Ziyech one. We've had the Aguero penalty miss, which gave me a laugh. Really did. Because it was just so stupid from him. And 15 minutes left, just under 15 minutes left now, plus stoppage time. And I can see Callum Hudson-Odoi getting ready to come on. And Ziyech's celebration, I have no idea what that is, but it's Ziyech, the goal scorer, that is replaced by Callum Hudson-Odoi, the number 20 for Chelsea, who was scapegoated when Tuchel first dropped points for Chelsea in a draw with Southampton. He was subbed on and then subbed off. Reece James, tackled by Ake. Reece James to Jorginho. Jorginho to Reece James, who whips across in towards Werner. And there's just enough on that in the end to put it behind for a Chelsea corner. The Serving Soda RBLX says, who do you think will win? I think it'll finish 1-1, mate. I don't think we'll see a winner. I think City will have to wait another week before they can talk about winning the title. We all know it's going to happen. We all know it's inevitable. But this would delay the process. And, you know, Chelsea dropping points still is good for Liverpool if this finishes a draw. But I would rather they lose. Sterling to Benjamin Mendy. Benjamin Mendy has 2 players ahead of him and he picks out Gabriel Jesus really, really well. And Jesus puts it onto his left foot and strikes the ball, but it goes quite far wide in the end. And Jesus is appealing for it. He thinks it's a corner, but the referee says nah. Addison says, what have you made of Chelsea this season? Well, they've been hit and miss, haven't they? But they look a lot better under Thomas Tuchel. And, you know, I said earlier in the week, I think that Chelsea are massive underdogs for the Premier League title next year. I really do. Tuchel will get his window. And, you know, he'll get his summer window. This back 3 works for Chelsea. He'll get backed by Abramovich. He'll get to bring in a few more players. And I think they're underdogs. I really, really do for next season's Premier League. Jensk says, I am 50 seconds ahead and can let you know if anything happens. Please don't spoil it, Jensk. I use Sky Go, so I am slightly behind. That's just how it works. But don't spoil it for anyone in the comments. They might enjoy, you know, the excitement or whatever. So please try and keep it to yourself if anything does happen. It's annoying as well because I know my dad and my brother are watching it downstairs too, and they're ahead of me because I have to watch it on Sky Go. Because obviously I can't sit downstairs and do these watch-alongs. But the ball's been found in behind. They've picked out Timo Werner. Werner rounds Edison. Werner! 2-1. Oh, he's offside. And, I mean, Chelsea giving City warning signs time and time again. But, yeah, Werner offside again. Second time in this game he's been caught offside like that. But, you know, for me, he's got to look down the line there, Werner. He must know he's offside. He must know. Another change for Manchester City. Their final one of the game. They'll see Zinchenko, who I thought was outstanding in midweek against PSG. Really did. I thought it was a really good performance from the Ukrainian. He replaces Benjamin Mendy. And I've mentioned, haven't I, that left side for City. There's been quite a lot of space on that left-hand side. And it's where Chelsea have had a lot of their luck attacking. Noah Lechevre, well, thank you for your comment, asking how my day was today. Not too bad. I refereed earlier. I've come back and I've done this. And then Liverpool are on tonight. So, really, they can get much better. Nah, it's been one of them. I'm quite hungover as well, to be fair. So, it's not been the greatest. But we move. I just can't wait to get to bed tonight. And there we go. Chelsea Oh, another offside goal for Chelsea. And I think this will go to VAR. The ball's in the back of the net. Callum Hudson-Odoi is the man who's put the ball in the back of the net. After, once again, another good Chelsea attack. I think he's onside. It's close. And we'll need the VAR lines. It is Callum Hudson-Odoi who's been penalised for offside. It's Reece James who's the man that got the assist. And he's just a knee offside. And that is a good spot from the linesman. It is. But once again, Chelsea have the ball in the back of the net. And once again, it looks like it's going to be ruled out for offside. So they're drawing the lines. And yeah, he does look a good yard or so offside in the end. Callum Hudson-Odoi and VAR have confirmed the assistant's thoughts. He believes that it was offside. So it remains 1-1 and breathe. I could really do with Chelsea dropping points. We could really do with Chelsea dropping points. And Sterling gets in behind, and what a tackle by Kurt Zouma. Kate 2.0 says, finally he admits it. Well done, Jack. Well, what did I admit? what have I done here? Jack, do you think we need a midfielder because we may have a 3-back or attacking 4, which have 2 centre mids, and we have Hendo, Fabinho, Thiago, Jones, Milner, Ox, and Naby? I really don't get this comment. Confusion. If you can let me know what you mean by that, mate, I'll try and answer it, but I don't really understand. Mendy goes left now to Rudiger. Noah says, I support Manchester. Noah says he wants City to not win the title as long as we can. Well, Noah, I hate to say it, but it's inevitable, mate. It is inevitable. So I think you should get ready for City to win the title again. It's just a matter of when, not if. And they had the chance to do it today, but 7 minutes to go in this game. The clock is ticking. They're running out of time, and they may have to wait another week. What's your prediction for the game later on? I said earlier, Addison, I think it'll be 4-0. I'm confident for today. Southampton missing a lot of players, and we need to make the most of it. Of teams around us dropping points. We really, really do. West Ham have Everton tomorrow, so one of them will drop points. If not both, fingers crossed it's a draw. Leicester lost, Spurs lost, Chelsea drawing here. And of course, I think we've got the better fixtures of the lot. And of course, a game in hand too after the game against Manchester United was postponed. It'll now be played on Thursday, of course. There's that effort from João Cancelo that's ballooned over in the end. Not long left of this snooze fest. Praise the Lord. Apparently, Bayern, who of course were crowned as the German champions earlier, the Bundesliga champions, they are showing off in style. They are 5-0 up against Gladbach, who of course are losing their manager to Dortmund in the summer. A Lewandowski hat-trick. Thank you for that for a moment. Noah says, if Manchester United sign Varane, Rice, Kane and Sancho, we will win the league, the team we have anyway. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle, but she doesn't, so she's not. And if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike. 6-0 Bayern apparently now, says Wolf Gaming 6921. What a team Bayern are. And that's what annoyed me about these semi-finals, because I feel like we were robbed of Bayern Manchester City. Because, you know, PSG went through fair enough over the 2 legs, that they were better than Bayern, but Bayern were without Lewandowski, and with Lewandowski, I think they get through that tie with ease. I really do. But here come City again, Gundogan. Goal kick, Foden couldn't finish in the end there. Xabi Alonso going to manage Gladbach? Of course he is. It's going to be good to see Xabi in his first team managerial job. I can't wait for it. What does he say here? Kate 2.0 says, thought you were tired because you were up doing uni work, but no getting drunk. Oh, well, I said earlier, the pub's back opening. The pubs are back open. And, as a uni student, I've got to make the most of that, haven't I? So, yeah, that was my evening last night. Anything else in the comments? Inglesey 001 says, what am I studying at uni? I am studying football business and media at UCFB, based at the Etihad, actually. Also, the cross comes in, it's deflected. It falls to Gabriel Jesus, but they can't turn it goal-bound in the end, and Chelsea survive there. Addison Taramani says, Reece Williams starts tonight, apparently. Werner onside. Kate 2.0 saying, what's your course at uni? Football business and media. Yeah, I've heard rumours that Kabak might be injured, Addison, and that might be why Reece Williams is starting. Obviously, Nat Phillips has struggled with an injury problem as well. We've not had it good, had we, recently, with injuries. And I say recently, it's been going on all bloody season. Terry the drummer, Chelsea fan, saying what I'm expecting from Chelsea is either a win or a draw. As the ball's played in behind, here's Sterling. Sterling goes down. Is that a penalty? Anthony Taylor tells him to get up. And it'll be interesting to see that again. Sterling can't believe it. But let's have a look. I think, yeah, he played for that. He played for that. It's a difficult one. Sterling is definitely looking for the contact. Is there a touch? Yes. Is there enough to give it? I don't think so. I don't think so. For me, Anthony Taylor's got that right. And VAR has checked it. And it is fine, I believe. Inglesey 001 says, after your studies, you can get a job with FSG. I'd rather go into media, mate, to be honest with you. Oh, a chance for Chelsea is Marcus Alonso attempts to lob Ederson there, but the ball goes wide in the end. And Pep Guardiola fuming. He's gone up to John Moss, the fourth official. He can't believe that wasn't a penalty before. Jacob Thornton saying, is Van Dijk back? No, he's not. He won't be back until next season, mate. Apparently the team is Alisson, Trent, Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, Robertson, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Thiago, Mane, Salah and Jota. So, an interesting team, a weak defence, a centre-back pairing of Phillips and Williams, according to Addison Taramani. Is Foden in behind there? So, yeah, an interesting team. And it does look then that, like, Kabak is injured. I don't know whether he's on the bench. Let me have a look. So, the bench for Liverpool today is Nico Williams, Bobby Firmino, Billy Koumetio, Curtis Jones, Adrian, Woodburn, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Shaqiri and Tsimikas. That bench is weak, isn't it? And I think our centre-back issues are shown by the fact that Billy Koumetio is on the bench. Where is Ben Davies? Where is he? Where is he? Does he still exist? What has happened to him? What have we done to the man? But Billy Koumetio on the bench. No Kabak in the squad. Clearly he's injured. I did see on Twitter earlier on in the week that he may be out for the rest of the season. So awful news if that's true. Somehow Woodburn is on the bench. So that's interesting. I know he's been training with the first team recently. But there you go. Wow. Yet more injury problems for us, though, there. Who has a minor fitness concern? Is that about Kabak? But 3 minutes of added time have been signalled here. We've played 30 seconds of them. Can either side find the winner, or will it finish 1-1 like I predicted prior to the game? The ball is pumped forwards towards Phil Foden, who is playing up front for Manchester City now. Mendy. Reece James. And yeah, people are saying here, Ben Davies, waste of a signing if we aren't going to use him. But the clock is ticking here. Can either side find a winner as Rudiger goes forwards? The ball is about to be whipped in. That looked like a foul to me. That looked like a foul. I don't know if VAR will take a look at that. But here we go. As Jorginho now on the ball for Chelsea. Inglesey says, yet another centre-back down. Billy Gilmour over to the right-hand side where Reece James is. Reece James finds Callum Hudson-Odoi. Can he skip past Nathan Ake? Yes, he does. He finds Werner. What's Werner going to do? Werner pulls it back. Lovely. Marcus Alonso, 2-1 Chelsea. And Chelsea take a big step towards Champions League qualification for next season. A big step towards top 4. And City will have to wait another week. Chelsea look to have won it late on. It takes a deflection, it looks like, from Marcus Alonso. I've said it doesn't really change much from a City perspective. It looks like they're going to win the league anyway, regardless. But they'll have to wait another week. And now, how important of a miss from Sergio Aguero from the spot just before the break. And in this dress rehearsal for the Champions League final, Chelsea have come out on top. Inglesey 001 says, Jack, are your family Chelsea fans? Because could hear them cheering. No, they just hate Manchester City. So, yeah, well, I'm annoyed. I'm going to go down and say to my dad, does he realise that this is not what we want? Because, you know, I really could have, as Liverpool fans, we could do with Chelsea dropping points today. So I don't know what they're cheering about down there, but they do hate City. And a big, big issue for us that with Chelsea picking up 3 points in this game here against Manchester City. And as I say, City will have to wait now before they are confirmed as Premier League champions. Manchester United could close the gap when they play Aston Villa tomorrow. And it's looked to be whipped in, and Marcus Alonso blocks. And we've played 4 minutes of stoppage time despite it going up for 3 minutes added on. And the whistle is in the mouth of Anthony Taylor. And that is it. The dress rehearsal for the Champions League final is over. And Chelsea have won by 2-1. Thomas Tuchel has won both games he has faced as Chelsea manager against Manchester City. And Marcus Alonso winner late on there. And it's not a good result for us Liverpool fans. We were hoping that Chelsea would slip up today. But City will have to wait another week before they are crowned as Premier League champions. And Man City, the favourites going into that Champions League final. They rested a lot of players today. But Chelsea have beaten City now twice this season, twice under Thomas Tuchel. And will they do it again in the Champions League final? Brilliant work from Werner for the second goal. But the turning point in the game, City went 1-0 up. Raheem Sterling just before the break. They then got a penalty. Billy Gilmour fouled Gabriel Jesus. And Sergio Aguero decided to Panenka the penalty. and was made to look like a clown. It was read by Mendy. And then in the second half, goals from Ziyech and Marcos Alonso has given Chelsea a huge 3 points. And they take a big step towards top 4 now. And, well, there you have it. Chelsea up to 3rd. We need to hope that Leicester fall apart. They've got some tough games now in the running. Obviously, they've played 2 games in hand over us. They're 9 points clear of us. So we beat United. We win against Southampton today. And we'll be 3 points behind Leicester. West Ham, of course, 5 points behind Leicester. So the top 4 race is looking close. But Chelsea have today taken a big step towards making sure that they qualify for it. As I see Mika Richards look over at the Premier League trophy. It's still got the red ribbons for now. Mika Richards. City will have to wait for now before they are crowned as Premier League champions. They've lost 2-1 to Chelsea today. And before I go, here is just a reminder of our sponsors, OneFootball. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is the only football app you need to follow thousands of teams, hundreds of leagues and competitions worldwide. It is packed with all the latest news, videos, fixtures, scores, stats, and key dates. And it personalizes the content that you want. It allows you to put your favorite team in, your favorite leagues, the fixtures you want to follow. It is an incredible app that I use, all my friends use, my family use it, everyone I know uses OneFootball. And if you're not using it yet, you need to go and download it. So there we have it. Check out OneFootball. The link is in the description. Thank you for joining me for this game. And now we look ahead to Liverpool versus Southampton. Join Craig for his live watch along on Anfield agenda for that one. And I shall see you all very soon. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this watch along. We'll see you. Ta-ra.